So Durgeshwari Sharma. Durgeshwari, are you around? Okay.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Can I start, sir?
Excellent. I don't have that. Okay. Chalo.
The above painting titled The Scream has been done by Edward Munch and belongs to the art movement called Expressionism. Expressionism is a modernist movement originating in Northern Europe around the beginning of the 20th century. Its typical trait is to present the world solely from a subjective perspective, distorting it radically for emotional effect in order to evoke moods or ideas. Expressionist artists have sought to express the meaning of emotional experience rather than the physical reality. Influence of Expressionism on cinema. German audiences had become less preferential towards romance and action flicks since the beginning of World War I, and themes of violence, cruelty, and betrayal became more relevant topics of discussion. This unfortunate set of circumstances, along with the constant fear of hyperinflation, provided a platform for daring, innovative filmmakers such as Fritz Lang, who directed Metropolis, and F.W. Murnau, Nosferatu, to make the German Expressionism one of the most important and influential movements in cinematic history. Expressionist films often use wildly non-realistic and geometrically absurd sets with designs painted on walls and floors to represent lights and shadows. Films such as The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Metropolis are perfect examples of how set design can be used to create a world that is aesthetically controlled by the film's emotional instructions. German expressionist filmmakers used a visual distortion and hyper-expressive performance to show inner turmoils, fears, and desires of that era. By rejecting cinematic realism, expressionist films showcase dramatic, revolutionary interpretations of the human condition. The movement radically challenged conventional filmmaking at the time and has provided food for thought for the industry ever since. Today, the enduring influence of German Expressionism can be seen throughout the medium, with critically acclaimed directors such as Ridley Scott and Tim Burton consistently taking influence from Expressionist work.
अच्छा, okay. अच्छा, just go up, नरेश, एकदम ऊपर एक बार. हाँ. Okay, तुमने जो expressionism के बारे में जो point लिखा, you should have elaborated a little more, because of course expressionism modernist movement originating in Northern Europe around the beginning of the 20th century. Its typical trait is to present the world solely from a subjective perspective, distorting it radically for emotional effect in order to evoke moods or ideas. और जो number 3 जो है, expressionist artists have sought to express the meaning of emotional experience rather than physicality. सही है, लेकिन ये क्यों किया इन लोगों ने? What were the social conditions which were responsible for this movement? ये भी देखो, कोई भी मूवमेंट का दो एस्पेक्ट होते हैं, ब्रॉड एस्पेक्ट होते हैं कि कोई भी मूवमेंट जब होता है, there are certain socio-economic conditions which are responsible for that movement. Okay,
right.
There are also artistic factors which are involved. Okay, because any work of art falls within a tradition, whether the artist is aware of it or not. Okay, na? So
Right,
suppose you're an artist or a musician or a filmmaker, even if you're not aware of, you fall into a tradition without knowing. Okay, so and your artistic work will reflect that particular tradition. Either it will conform to the tradition or it will go against the tradition. Okay, na? So first of all, you need to deal with the socio-economic conditions, political conditions which are responsible for a particular movement. Okay. Number 2, what is the artistic expression? जो तुमने लिखा कि subjective perspective, distortion, to evoke moods and ideas. These are the artistic expressions which we find in paintings and literature and in German expression cinema. ठीक है, लेकिन इसके पीछे जो political, social और economic reasons है, वो तुमने डिस्कस नहीं किया, वो भी डिस्कस करना जरूरी है. ठीक है ना? सो ये दिमाग में रखो, अगर FTI एग्जाम में अगर ऐसा कोई भी मूवमेंट के बारे में अगर ऐसा क्वेश्चंस है कि एक है, दो एस्पेक्ट है. एक है कि व्हाट आर द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल रीजंस फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर दिस थिंग. ओके, एंड द how it is manifested in the works of art. okay, which you have dealt with in 2 and 3. Okay,
Oh,
or and then German expressionist cinema के बारे में तुमने जो लिखा, just go down a little, Naresh. Yeah, ठीक है, there's a lot of information, लेकिन again, you know, a little more deep into the aesthetics of German expressionist cinema, which you have not mentioned. Okay, whatever you have mentioned is बहुत ही superficial और ऊपर. You know, you should have spoken about the, you know, the storylines, the characters. हाँ, तुमने set के बारे में लिखा, the sets are distorted, and there's a lot of emphasis on the geometric, you know, the geometric patterns.
And here I
Ah.
would like to mention that you should have mentioned the two important names which were hired to create the set, which were expressionist painter. You need to find these two names who were hired to design the set of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Hmm.
You know, they were the painters. So the connect was much strong. And so also a little bit about the lighting in German expressionism. This kind of movement, there was a specific kind of lighting in black and white.
right,
It was
right,
not
sir.
very romantic kind of a lighting. It has a very specific qualities which you should have mentioned here, which defined the German expressionism of that point. There was a particular noir which was used in that. To do some little research, and then you will understand that.
Yeah, but there's a play of light and shade, you know, because the subjects were grim, the subjects were very grim, and the space was very claustrophobic. You know, a particular kind of lighting was used to play of light and shadow. And what happened? Most of these cameramen and the directors and these technicians, you know, they migrated to Hollywood because of when the Nazis started rising to power. Okay, so all these technicians, German technicians, Germany was a huge industry in Europe, okay, film industry. So all these technicians were mostly they were Jews when the Jews started getting persecuted, okay. So they migrated, Fritz Lang and all these guys migrated to, and the technicians, of the art directors, okay, art directors and cameramen. So they brought the style of, you know, German expressionist cinema to American cinema, specifically a particular genre which is called the film noir. Film noir is a very popular American genre, Hollywood genre, dark films. Film noir matlab dark, it's a French word, okay. So film noir का जो lighting का जो pattern था, play of light and shade, you know, is directly influenced by German expressionist cinema. ये याद रखना, okay. And it was possible only because these guys from Germany had come to Hollywood and working on Hollywood films. It conveyed a certain mood, you know, mood of, you know, depression, a kind of urban crime, depression and all that. Okay, which was an extension of German expression. Though the sets were realistic, sets were realistic in the sense that film noir ka sets jo the realistic the, everything was realism, but the mood was dark, just like the German expressionist cinema. Okay.
But still, it is well written in terms of the point and other things. It is 75% you have to the point. Yeah, please carry on. See, one thing everybody should need to notice, that this question came into the cinematographic section last year. So they did not ask, write a short note about the German expressionism. They did not ask this question. What they did is, they picked up a painting, which you all know, it was Edvard Munch, and then they asked, how did this movement in art influence the cinema? So they did not ask you by giving you a clue of German expressionism. Remember it. Now what they would do is, they can, this kind of question has already come into the direction. This kind of question, René Magritte lover, that question came 3 years back or 2 years back about the painting and discussed that particular painting. So remember, they will pick up a painting who was an important artist of that movement, like the way they did it with The Cry, and then we'll ask you, write about this. So maybe it is not going to be expressionism, it could be a pop art, it could be surrealism. So be careful that if you are not familiar with these art movement, it would be a tough time for you.
Yeah, because this is a basic requirement. Huh?
There are 9 important movement, not 9 actually, I am reducing the number, actually 15, particularly in the art, which they will pick up someone and then they will ask you to write a short note or something about that particular art movement and things like that. So be careful. They are very tough only because you don't know So like many people who are sitting in this list, they are tourists. I call them tourists. They didn't bother to write the assignment today. And they expect the FTI, they will get in. No, not at all. Particularly this year. They have made a rule that 50% people would be out. Your paper B would not be checked if you are not into the top information level questions of 50 marks. So far, this is the rule. So all these tourists who are listening to me, be careful, because you are tourists. You have come to see the Qutub Minar here, and listening to this lecture will not help you until unless you take a pain to write down. The way this girl has done, and so does the other. Shamelessly, you sit over here, fine. We have no problem. But this shamelessness would not help you to get into your FTI member. Okay. Next.
Impressionism.
Yeah.
Impressionism was a radical art movement that began in the late 1800s, centered primarily around Parisian painters. Impressionists rebelled against classical subject matter and embraced modernity, desiring to create works that reflected the world in which they lived. Uniting them was a focus on how light could define a moment in time with color, providing definition instead of black lines. The Impressionists emphasized the practice of painting outside. Initially derided by critics, Impressionism has since been embraced as one of the most popular and influential art styles in Western culture.
Now wait. So this thing, you are wasting the time. Every movement was important. Influential in the sense everything was influential. So if you are just writing this, since has become embraced as one of the most popular and influential art style, you are wasting the time. Be specific about what is so important about that. Got my point? So use your word very, very carefully rather than using the flurry language like this.
Okay.
Every movement has created an impact and there were followers, right? So
okay.
Be careful.
Yes, sir. Influence of Impressionism on cinema.
And also one more important thing, not necessarily all the question is this particular art movement has some influence on cinema? If yes, then describe. But if it is not, then there is no need to describe. So there is a catch in that question.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yeah.
Filmmakers emphasize more on emotional representation as opposed to an objective reality. Impressionist films collectively developed film theory as a whole. Impressionists created entirely new theories as to how a film can articulate a wide range of emotions, situations, and subjective realities. Whether directly or indirectly, these new conventions have influenced practically every moving image since. The movement explored techniques such as non-linear editing, innovative lighting, attempts to portray dream sequences and fantasies, and other ingenious methods to tell a story from a protagonist's point of view. Although these conventions are well known to film goers today, this common knowledge is thanks to the innovative frameworks created with movements such as French Impressionism. In fact, Abel Gance even introduced the concept of using widescreen to enhance the cinematic experience for his 1927 film Napoleon. The movement is widely known for prioritizing aesthetically beautiful images in the same vein as Impressionist painters such as Renoir, Degas, and Monet.
Okay. So is it, so I'm just asking you, ये जो Impressionist का influence on cinema है, is it restricted to French cinema? Of that period, 1920s, Abel Gance and all, जिसका तुमने नाम mention किया, they were making films in 1920s. Was it restricted to French cinema of the 1920s, which is called the poetic realism? Okay, poetic realism is a kind of, it's a film movement which happened in France in 1920s. Okay. So, or is it a worldwide phenomenon? It also influenced American cinema or European cinema outside France.
So when I was reading about these art movements and some of the cinematic movements, so I found a link between French Impressionism and this. So I thought that maybe it's influenced from Impressionism, the French cinema of that particular era. That's why I just kept
I'm not very sure there was any direct influence on cinema. I mean, there was some kind of there are some certain similarities, but I don't know whether I can call them influence. The cinema as a language might have evolved, a lot of new elements in terms of language, like non-linear relating, kinetic lighting. But whether they were influenced by French Impressionism or they happened by themselves in isolation, I'm not very sure about that. Okay. So because I'm not, of course, Expressionism definitely, Surrealism definitely, Magic Realism definitely, okay, na? But I'm not very sure about Impressionism. Okay. Chalo.
So, sir, if like in post-impressionism, I wasn't sure if it's influenced or not, so I didn't write about it.
Sahi hai,
So
sahi hai.
if we are not sure in the exam also.
That was the catch in the question. That did this art movement influence the cinema? If it did not, then forget about it. So at least write about what this art movement is, and then the next answer should be it did not influence the cinema.
Okay, fine, sir.
That was the catch.
Okay. Post-impressionism. Post-impressionist artists used vivid colors, thick paint, distinct brushstrokes, and ordinary subject matter, but stressed the use of geometric forms and unnatural colors. Post-impressionist painters explored different directions and approaches to painting without concern about the appearance of their subjects. It paved the way for the development of modern art, which was based largely on the emotions and concepts of the individual artist. Post-impressionism was developed in the form of impressionism and was used to refer to the works of younger artists such as Vincent van Gogh, Paul Gauguin, and Georges Seurat.
That's Paul Gauguin, ठीक है ना? Spelling Gauguin है, लेकिन pronunciation Gauguin है, ठीक है?
Gauguin.
ठीक है, हाँ. अच्छा. Then any more point?
I didn't find anything on the influence, so I left it.
नहीं, ठीक है, वो सही किया तुमने, लेकिन देखो तुमने ये जो 4 पॉइंट तुमने डाला, ओके, ये बहुत ही थोड़ा सा सुपरफिशियल है इन द सेंस कि फॉर एग्जांपल पॉइंट नंबर 2 तुमने जो लिखा, पोस्ट इंप्रेशनिस्ट पेंटर्स एक्सप्लोर्ड डिफरेंट डायरेक्शंस एंड अप्रोचेस टू पेंटिंग विदाउट कंसर्न अबाउट द अपीयरेंस ऑफ देयर सब्जेक्ट्स. This is a little vague. Every movement, every explores different directions and approaches. Okay, so ये बहुत ही redundant लग रहा है. Number 1. Okay, and post-impressionist art is used. So when you're using the word post-impressionist, that means you're not using any other term, na? Critics are not using any other term. They're using post. So there was impressionism, and now there is post-impressionism. So in that case, you have to write how post-impressionism is linked to impressionism. What are the similarities and what are the differences? How and why it deviated. So you have to थोड़ा बहुत comparison तुम्हें यहाँ पे करना जरूरी था कि why we are calling them not impressionists but we are calling them post impressionists. फर्क क्या है और क्यों है, ठीक है ना? वो तुमने एक्सप्लोर नहीं किया. तुमने नेम्स डाला, सही बात है. तुमने नंबर 1 जो है वो भी थोड़ा सा the features तुमने बताया वो भी सही है, ठीक है. Number 2 is absolutely redundant. Okay. And number 3 is also a little kind of superficial and sweeping. It paved the way for the development of the modern art, which was based largely on the emotions and concepts of the individual artist. Again, again, modern art is too much of a sweeping term. Modern art actually encompasses a lot of other, individual, like Dadaism bhi hai, Surrealism bhi hai, kitne sare hai, Pointillism bhi hai, तो ये बहुत ही vague है, or you really cannot. Every art influences the next movement in some manner or the other. So again, number 3 is a very sweeping sentence. You have to be a little specific.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine, sir. I'll keep that. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So next is Pragya Parimita Pradhan. आ जाइए.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. A given painting, The Scream, is by Edward Munch, is a famous painter of Expressionism art movement. The movement focused on portraying the emotional and psychological mind state of the subject. Painters use bright colors and bold strokes to exaggerate the psychological world around the character in a very subjective manner. It is basically the painter's perception towards the subject. Example, The Large Blue Horses by Franz Marc. The end of World War I atmosphere influenced this movement to capture the human psychological crisis in terms of anxiety, depression, and cruelty through painting. During 1910, government of Germany ban on foreign films leads to increase in domestic production films that largely known as German expressionism movement that against the realism.
यहाँ पे एक सेकंड परिता, ये इंफॉर्मेशन सही है कि बैनिंग ऑफ फिल्म्स, लेकिन जो जर्मन एक्सप्रेशनिस्ट फिल्म मूवमेंट जो हुआ था वो 1920s में हुआ था. Second World War ended in 1918, and these kind of films started getting made from the earlier part of the beginning of the next decade, 1920s. ठीक है ना?
I mean World War I के बाद ये फिल्म बनाना स्टार्ट हुआ.
हाँ, वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 में तो फिल्म बनी नहीं रहा था, वॉर चल रहा था. हाँ, परिस्थिति बहुत ही खराब था. ठीक है ना? सो वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 जब खत्म हुआ 1918 में, जर्मनी का हालत बहुत ही बुरा था, क्योंकि a lot of Germany was put to a lot of undeserving and in a humiliating kind of conditions by other European nations. ठीक है, Treaty of Versailles etc. सो इकोनॉमी बहुत ही खराब था, और ये जो मूवमेंट जो हुआ था ये 1920s का मूवमेंट है. ओके
जी सर. तो सर लाइन थोड़ा सेंटेंस करेक्ट हो सकता है.
हाँ
लाइक हाँ जी सर. Like expressionist painting, expressionist films are also based on psychological perception of the character rather than the surface visibility. Films are based on madness, struggle, and cruelty that convey the traumatic experience of World War I. The writer of the cabinet of the Dr. Caligari himself was a World War I soldier, and the film based on his experience. Like vivid, bright color in painting, expressionist film use high contrast of dark and light to create a nightmare atmosphere. Example: Fritz Lang's Metropolis and the haunted scene. Sir.
Okay, so most of his films, not only these two films, most of his films. Okay, अच्छा यहाँ पे मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ, and please this is for everybody, ये जो जर्मन एक्सप्रेशनिस्ट मूवमेंट है ना, यहाँ पे दो किस्म के फिल्म्स बन रहे थे. एक है जो जिसका सेट्स वगैरह डिस्टॉर्टेड थे. देयर वाज एन एम्फसिस ऑन ज्योमेट्रिकल पैटर्न्स, एंड इफ यू लुक एट द रूम्स ऑफ द प्रोटैगनिस्ट हु वर सफरिंग फ्रॉम delusions and paranoia, the rooms were like they were not straight, the walls were not straight, the walls were like falling upon him. So there's an element of claustrophobia, there's an element of kind of confinement. So the sets were very, very unrealistic, very, very exaggerated. Okay, even the streets and the buildings on the streets were like they were not straight, they were like leaning towards each other. Even the trees, trees मतलब पेड़ वगैरह, पेड़ पौधे भी थोड़ा सा कट आउट जैसा दिखते थे. There were the deep shadows, long shadows, which conveyed a world which was full of paranoia. जो तुमने लिखा, this is one kind of German expressionist films which were made in Germany. There was another kind of German expressionist films which were being made, which were actually very realistic in terms of art direction, in terms of set designing, okay, and in terms of characterization, where the people were seemingly normal, but the world which existed in those films, they were filled with paranoia, some kind of a डर. For example, तुम Fritz Lang का M देखोगे, it's a very realistic film. It does not have distorted art direction. ठीक है, लेकिन M का जो it's a serial killer, a guy who rapes and kills young girls, उसका जो दुनिया है, it's a paranoid दुनिया. So ऐसा नहीं है कि हर जर्मन एक्सप्रेशनिस्ट सिनेमा जो है वो डिस्टॉर्टेड सेट्स इस्तेमाल करते थे, ऐसा नहीं है. The two kinds of films which were made, ये याद रखना. Okay, चलो. Then
नहीं सर, उसके बाद इम्प्रेशनिज्म आर्ट में. जी सर.
अच्छा ठीक है, चलो ठीक है. तुमने जो इन्फॉर्मेशन एटलीस्ट एट द लेवल ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन सही इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया. ओके impressionist art movement पढ़ो. हाँ.
Impressionism, majorly known as French Impressionism art movement, in late 1860, a group of young artists decided to paint in a simple manner, like what they saw. They prioritized visual reality in terms of transient effects of light and color. They didn't seek perfection. They even abandoned three-dimensional perspective. The movement allows painters to go out with their canvas and brush and paint what they saw in reality, like nature, landscape, tree, house. They were not interested in painting history, mythology, or painting of great personalities. Mostly, the theme was domestic intimacy, group activities, and openness to sex. Some major artists of the movement are Claude Monet, Edward Manet, and Renoir. Impressionism art movement.
Go down.
Sir?
Naresh, scroll down a little.
Impressionism art movement creates a model of freedom that somehow might have influenced the French Impressionist films to create their own styles and techniques rather than to follow American films.
So French Impressionist films के बारे में कुछ बोलो. तुमने जो French Impressionist films के बारे में लिखा तुमने एक line. Okay, so can you give us some examples?
सर इस जो रिलेटिव मुझे एक्चुअली सर मैंने सर्च कि मुझे इस पेंटिंग से फिल्म का डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन
नहीं है उतना,
में समझ नहीं
मिला. अच्छा ठीक है, ओके चलो.
नहीं है तो सर आप थोड़ा
नहीं है मेरे नॉलेज में तो नहीं है. मैं अभी जो इसको previous student as I was discussing, you might find common elements between a particular film and the movement. It does not mean that it was consciously influenced by the movement. Okay, मेरे knowledge में नहीं है. Okay, चलो पोस्ट इम्प्रेशनिज्म आर्ट
एक्चुअली ये भी एक मूवमेंट है सर. थोड़ा सा सर वो एक मूवमेंट है भी या नहीं ये भी एक क्वेश्चन है. मैंने जितना सर्च किया इम्प्रेशनिज्म फिल्म मूवमेंट.
अच्छा नहीं वो मूवमेंट नहीं है. मतलब we have never heard of impressionist film movement as such. There's something called the poetic realism. Poetic realism is a kind of was a term which was used to define the cinema of the 1920s and the 1930s French cinema. Okay, it was defined by kind of Jean Renoir and Abel Gance. They were making realistic films, but they had some kind of they were very realistic, but there was some kind of a sentimentalism which was involved. And though they were critical of the society and the politics of the day and all, but there was some kind of a hope, there's some kind of a romance, there's some kind of a sentimentalism. That is why and the images were very well composed and kind of, so that is why it's called poetic realism. Okay, it's a film movement which was not as tagra, as strong as other film movements, and which is not much talked about also in film history and film theory, but it was there. Poetic realism. Okay. Post-impressionist art movement.
Post-impressionism art movement. Post-impressionism art movement in France developed between 1886 to 1905. This impressionism movement was going to begin soon. The movement was against the impressionism techniques of using light, color, and depicting surface visibility. The post-impressionism painting are symbolic and highly personal by nature. It emphasizes on geometric form and use of unnatural colors. Example, The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh was a depiction of view from window of his asylum room. The movement influenced Cubism, Surrealism, and Expressionism art movement.
This is number 3 is a technical point. You have not elaborated again, as I was telling the previous student. The term is post-impressionism. That means वो impressionism के साथ कुछ तो लेना देना है ना? तो क्या लेना देना क्या है? That you have not discussed. What are the common elements and how they differ? Okay, so that you have not discussed. Whatever you have discussed, it's very kind of sweeping lines you have written. Okay, it does not display a very deep knowledge, which is not expected of you also. But of course, being an FTI aspirant, you are now required to know all these information like the back of your hand. These are basic things. This movements, artistic movements, not only of Europe, India में भी जो movements हुए हैं, realism, how realistic paintings influenced Raja Ravi Verma, and what are the different kinds of paintings, different schools, Bengal school, Bombay school, Baroda school, ये सब के बारे में भी knowledge रहना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है? And who are the painters? Who are the modernist painters? M.F. Hussain वगैरह वगैरह. ठीक है. So I'm sure most of you have not heard of a lot of Indian painters apart from few. Okay, yeah.
तो ये नाम जो है गड़बड़ हो गया थोड़ा सा. ये कोई आदमी पहचान रहा है इसको अपना लिखा हुआ है जिसने लिखा हो ये?
सर मैंने लिखा है अमित वर्मा सर.
आइए आइए आइए, सॉरी चलिए बोलिए अमित.
यस सर, ये असाइनमेंट जैसा मुझे मिला तो टू बी ऑनेस्ट सर, इसके पहले मुझे इम्प्रेशनिज्म, पोस्ट इम्प्रेशनिज्म एंड जो एक्सप्रेशनिज्म है उसके बारे में
करो, पढ़ना चालू करो. दिस इज अ सिचुएशन विद एवरीवन. आज
Okay, sir.
लोगों को ये सब डिस्कवरी का टाइम मिला है, आज से पहले नहीं मिला. अभी पढ़ो.
Okay, sorry sir. Introduction. Edward Munch painting The Scream, 1893. As said by Munch, he was walking along the road with two friends. The sun was setting. Suddenly the sky turned into blood color. He stopped there, feeling exhausted, and leaned on the fence. There was blood and tongues of fire above the blue-black fjord and the city. His friends walked on, and he stood there trembling with anxiety and sensed an infinite scream passing through nature. ये थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन है सर पेंटिंग के बारे में. फिर उसके बारे में बाद में इम्प्रेशनिज्म.
हाँ, लेकिन तुम पेंटिंग के बारे में इंट्रोडक्शन दिया. His friends walked on and stood there trembling with anxiety, but पेंटिंग के बारे में तुमने कुछ नहीं लिखा. तुमने जो लिखा पेंटिंग करने से पहले वो उसका जो हम लोग क्रिएटिव प्रोसेस बोलते हैं इसको, तुम क्रिएटिव प्रोसेस के इन्फ्लुएंस, यू नो, द कंडीशंस के बारे में तुमने बोला. What are the conditions which are responsible for his inspiration, okay, to create that painting? But you have not analyzed the painting.
That is not the question at all. Question is pick up. Tell the name of the painter and which movement it belongs and how did it influence the cinema. So this entire thing is a waste of time because they did not ask the analysis of the painting.
Okay,
this is a mistake many people do. Chaliye.
Okay, then this point, impressionism. It is a style or movement or depicting the natural appearance of objects in painting. So as Munch what he felt and observed on that evening, he actually painted it. The shocking moment of the guy in foreground who is actually shocked by the changing of color of the sky. Two of his friends who didn't even feel anything like Munch, they are walking shown in the background.
Okay, again, it is wide of the mark. You're not answering the question at all. Okay.
Yes, sir. Then post-impressionism, sir. In post-impressionism, most of the painters use geometric form or shapes to depict its subjects. So Munch painted so many lines in the painting as to represent clouds, fjord, long fence, painted clouds in that way to show that color changing moment, which is also connected to shocking reaction of the character in foreground.
Again, this is an explanation of the painting, not required. You are supposed to write a short note on post impression, which it is not.
Okay, sir. Okay.
In journal, you are supposed to write about in journal.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Misunderstood the question so far.
Okay, sir. Expressionism, by name of the painting and the painting itself expressing a feeling of anxiety, as the character is in the foreground, which is giving a perspective to the painting of how he's feeling around the whole scene.
No, they were the different questions altogether. You are trying to connect them with the painting. It was not. That was a different question.
Okay, sir. Okay. And this is the answer of, yes, this painting influenced the cinema, which I have discovered. The poster of the Home Alone movie, in which Macaulay Culkin giving the same expression as the character is giving in the painting.
It is an influence on a particular poster on a particular person, not on the cinema in general.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Which you are supposed to talk the way we have discussed earlier. Anyway,
okay.
So you missed the boat. Except if it is a 5 marks question, you just will get 1 marks because you could identify the painter's name. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Priyasha Mana, aiye. Priyasha Mana, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Come, quick.
Is this your first day, Priyasha Mana?
No, some of the students are from cinematography.
Okay.
Because the question came into the cinematography section.
Okay.
You can also come in that direction for sure. हाँ जी, पढ़ने चालू करिए फटाफट।
The name of the artist Edward Munch. Name of the painting The Scream, originally named The Scream of Nature. This painting belongs to Expressionism, though it was painted before recognition of Expressionism movement. In Expressionism, artists communicated intense feeling through their work. It was done by using vivid colors, quirky distortion, and vigorous strokes. Moving away from realistic representation, artists looked to their own personalities for inspiration. This painting also came from the inner anxiety of Edward Munch. The whole swirly landscape, broken by straight diagonal bridge, two figures are placed at distance are also straight, but the main subject in the foreground is swirly and mimicking the background. The vertical opening of the mouth and hands position on the ear suggests that the person isn't screaming, but trying to silence the nature scream and reveals deep distress. All over distorted shapes epitomize the expressionist spirit.
You committed the same mistake which other person has done. They have not asked the analysis of the painting. They asked how did this movement influence the cinema. So you wasted the space and time because they didn't ask the about the painting. Chaliye.
Eventually, expressionism taken up by theater, dance, and then cinema. The first film in the expressionist style, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which created sensation all over the Europe. The film is like moving expressionist painting with extreme stylization. The style affected mostly German film industry, which depends heavily on mise-en-scene, where all elements interact graphically to create an overall composition. Characters don't simply exist within a setting, rather form visual elements that merge with the setting. In Robert Payne Genuine in bedroom scene, we can see that heroine leans backward and blends with the curved background. Expressionist style created stylized situation for fantasy and horror stories. Uh, example, Walks and Nosferatu. In Hollywood expressionism depicted in horror films such as Son of Frankenstein and film noir have a strong expressionist touches in their lighting and setting. Though the movement ended in short period, but even today we find influence of expressionism in movies like Pan's Labyrinth, Course Bite, Blade Runner, and The Night Before Christmas. So expressionism never entirely died out as a trend in film style.
Okay, you have given a lot of examples of expressionist cinema, and yeah, it never died out as a trend in film style. There were expressionism, abhi jo hai, elements of expression you can find in different films. That does not mean it is a trend. You know, trend is something else. Trend is almost like a, you know, a movement. Okay, so I don't think expressionism exists as a trend in film style anymore, but you will definitely find influences of expressionism in different cinema, even in contemporary films that you have mentioned. Okay, so ठीक है, चलो, go down a little.
Done. Next, Atul Miglani.
Yes, hi sir. Sir, Atul Miglani, Edward Munch, The Scream. It's a painting of Edmund Munch, The Scream, 1893, oil tempera and pastel on cardboard, 9173 centimeter, National Gallery of Norway. Sir, expressionism की बात करी तो expressionism known as to present the world solely from a subject perspective. Basically, expressionism is express the meaning of emotional experience rather than what we see in physical reality. Here in this painting, The Scream, it is the expressionistic construction of the Munch, his own experience of a scream from nature. While he was on a walk, the two people seen in the background were his parents and left him at the point of time, and his mind was in abnormal state. He had been out for a walk at sunset as the sky is orange. Red is the original paint. He had been out for a walk at sunset as the sky is orange and red in the original painting, and suddenly the setting sun turns the cloud blood red and he feels infinite scream passing through the nature. As the distorted foreground figure with distorted sky and river signify that it is Munch expressing his mind state in the current position, and everything turns like his mind state, the flowing things, which is not looking in control definitely. Impressionism.
Again, you committed the same mistake. They did not ask you about the explanation of the painting. They ask you identify the artist, which you did, and how
Yes.
this particular art movement
Yes.
influenced the cinema, which you have not mentioned so far.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Impressionism, it's a 19th century art movement. It emphasizes on accurate depiction of light colors in its changing quality, and the Impressionism painting composed in a way so the main subject commanded the viewer's attention, as the compositional style inspired from the photography in the Impressionism art movement. And in this painting, as it is a black and white photograph, but in actual painting, जो मतलब इसमें actual painting है, sky is orange and red, and the river is dark desaturated blue, and the middle portion has reflection of orange illuminated through the sky, and has some high intensity saturated blue layers of water, which is giving sort of realism in terms of colors of sky simulating the time of sunset.
Again, is a waste of space and time because they are not asked about the painting. That is the 90% people commit a mistake. They don't read the question and start writing. They don't read the question and start writing.
Yes sir, वो मैंने ऑब्जर्व कर लिया था सर जब
ऑब्जर्व कर लिया था, ऑब्जर्व ही तो नहीं किया. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. अगर तुमने ऑब्जर्व किया होता तो तुम ये जो कहानी लिख रहे हो यहाँ पर पेंटिंग एप्रिसिएशन ये ना लिखते. आप इंप्रेशनिज्म की बात करते जो अभी तक आपने नहीं की. आगे बढ़िए.
Yes sir. The distorted mind state type Munch figure in foreground appears big as compared.
About the same thing. Now
Yes,
come to
sir,
the
yes,
post
yes,
impression.
yes, yes. Post-impression. Post-impression is an art movement that developed in 1890s. It evokes the emotion rather than realism, which includes symbolic motif, unnatural colors, and painterly brushstrokes. In this painting, the symbolic motif, as I already mentioned, the motion of the abnormal mind state of Edward Munch after losing his companions, portrayed through his distorted visuals on the canvas, which is of course separating it from realism. The colors are also very unnatural, as the overly saturated orange sky transitions from orange to red and again to orange then red, and somewhere in between blue narrow shades, dark narrow blue dark narrow shades, and at end merging with the dark gloomy dramatic black river, which is definitely his emotions portraying with the post impressionism art movement. Maybe it is a broad brush strokes uses to add textures like the distorted river and sky, the texture on the bridge and the Edward's figure, water plus face in foreground, and it's not a realistic representation of the subject.
Again, 1 marks out of 5 because you missed the board the way previous cinematography student did it. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
You need to read everybody. Whosoever is sleeping on the right side by opening their keeping their video off, you are going to commit the same mistake which 2 cinematography student has done so far. Okay. They are not asking about the painting explanation at all. They say, look at the painting, identify the name of the person, and hence identify the art movement he is associated with, and then write about that art movement, cinema in Germany, mainly Germany, and then other parts. That was the question, and you missed the boat. ध्यान रखना. बड़ा आसान क्वेश्चन है, मुश्किल क्वेश्चन नहीं है, बट वो ट्रिक जो है पहले उसमें ही है. जो कचरा है वो बाहर हो जाएगा. ये रट उठा के जो लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे तुमने गूगल से, वहां पे हेल्प नहीं करने वाला, क्योंकि तुम्हें पता नहीं है क्या पूछ रहा है वो क्वेश्चन. आइए सपना आर जयसवाल.
यस सर.
आ जाइए.
So scroll the page. The figure shown above is a popular painting by the artist Edward Munch titled The Scream. This painting is a part of the aesthetic art movement called Expressionism. Expressionism is an artistic style in which artists expresses emotions such as horror, darkness, madness, crime, and fear through their paintings. These emotions are achieved in paintings with the application of absurd shapes, distorted lines, arrangement of figures and elements in an unrealistic geometric composition. Other than composition, the use of colors in the painting highlights the effect. For example, in the painting The Scream, Edward Munch has used dominating red color curves in the sky to create jarring and fearful experience. The mountains and the areas below the bridge looks abnormal and exaggerated. There is high color contrast between the sky and the ground that creates dramatic effect. The artist had placed himself in the painting while on a walk, standing in fear as he experiences the scream of nature, while his other two companions left him. This states the abnormal state of mind of the artist when he heard the scream of nature. This expresses the unrealistic happenings in the painting experienced by the artist.
ओके तुमने जो एग्जांपल दिया तुमने द स्क्रीम से ही एग्जांपल दिया, लेकिन उससे पहले तो तुम्हारा जो द पॉइंट्स जो है वो सही है। तुमने जो मूवमेंट के बारे में लिखा, ओके सो या ठीक है, चलो इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ सिनेमा क्या लिखे हो देखते हैं।
The expressionism style of art was abandoned by artists post-war period. Later, the expressionism art form was adopted by filmmakers and were used in visual arts. In terms of visual art, expressionism concept was employed with the help of dramatic lights, unrealistic sets, exaggerated use of angles, intense colors, and dark story theme. High color contrast lights, Dutch tilt, slow camera angle, overhead lightings, jarring camera movements, and creative use of frame rates enhance the terror experience. These are unrealistic happenings that are expressed in this realistic world through psychological experiences and emotions. Most influenced genres of the expressionism art movement impact could be horror films and noir films.
अच्छा है, और you could have given some specific examples of German cinema, German
and movies.
हाँ movies, ठीक है ना?
Yes, I understood.
लेकिन तुमने जो points जो डाला वो सही है, ठीक है?
Okay,
so, so how they are reflected in the films, individual Fritz Lang and other F.W. Murnau, Robert Wine,
yes,
के films है, ये थोड़ा सा अगर होता knowledge तो अच्छा है, मैंने it's not expected that you'll be very knowledgeable about these films. Okay, but anyway, whatever you have written is good, and also you have mentioned horror films and you have mentioned noir films, but noir films are generally American, popular. It's a popular genre in America and Hollywood. Okay,
yes,
of course it was influenced by German expressionist cinema, specifically lighting and the mood, not the sets. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
Anji. कौन है ये बच्चा?
Sir, I need to continue.
अच्छा, आइए.
Impressionism art movement. Impressionism in painting refers to painting the visual reality accurately in terms of figures, shapes, and colors. Impressionism art was strictly objective painting of the real world as it is perceived. Sir, please scroll. Impressionism art form uses loose brush strokes and unmixed color palette to paint the real world and may lack the fine details. The word impressionism is derived from the painting of Claude Monet titled Impression Sunrise. Claude Monet is regarded as the father of French impressionists. Among many artists, well-known impressionist painters are Claude Monet, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Camille Pissarro, and Edouard Manet.
यहाँ पे एक चीज मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, यहाँ पे जो प्रोनाउंसिएशन है क्लाउडे मोनेट नहीं, क्लॉड मोने है, टी इज साइलेंट, ठीक है ना? अगेन
गूगल में बहुत सारी वेबसाइट है, वो आपको ये बताएंगे कि ये नाम कैसे प्रोनाउंस किया जाता है, तो उसमें डालो तो सुनो 4 बार और प्रैक्टिस करो थोड़ा, तो आसपास जो है 50% पहुंच जाओ.
यस सर.
क्योंकि फ्रेंच नेम्स आर अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट टू प्रोनाउंस, मतलब क्योंकि स्पेलिंग जो होता है और उनका जो प्रोनाउंसिएशन जो होता है अलग होता है मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. लास्ट में जो एडवर्ड मैनेट नहीं है, एडवर्ड मैने, टी अगेन इज साइलेंट, मैने मोने, टी इज साइलेंट. ओके
ओके सर.
और रेनोवार, दैट्स नॉट रेनोयर, इट्स रेनोवार.
रेनोवार.
हाँ रेनोवार. ओके
ओके सर.
या ठीक है. और तुमने जो एग्जाम्पल्स भी दिया तुमने और फीचर्स भी मेंशन किया तुमने, ठीक है. चलो विद इन दोस
influence of impressionism on cinema. Impressionism influenced cinema was characterized by camera and editing techniques. Impressionism in cinema resulted in number of shooting techniques such as shooting characters' point of view shots, subjective and objective shots where camera acts as human eye. The employment of slow motion, exposure alteration, directional lighting, and optical effects augmented the beauty of the image and portrayed characters' psychological state. Impressionism gave direction to an art form where the story of or truth is not directly expressed. Instead, an experience is created that leads the audience to the plot of the story or the truth.
Okay. लेकिन कुछ एग्जांपल्स है, स्पेसिफिक एग्जांपल्स है?
No, sir, I have not researched
अच्छा,
about
और
examples.
कहीं तुमने ये ऐसा पढ़ा कि सिनेमा हैज बीन डायरेक्टली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय इंप्रेशनिज्म, कहीं पढ़ा? दिस इज आल्सो फॉर माय नॉलेज.
No, sir, it was not directly influenced, but there were some topics about it.
देखो क्या होता है, जनरली इन रियलिटी क्या होता है, when there are parallel movements happening, movements मतलब there are at any given point of time there are so many art forms ना
Yes, sir.
happening parallelly. Okay, सिनेमा भी होता है, थिएटर भी होता है, म्यूजिक भी होता है, लिटरेचर भी होता है, पेंटिंग भी होता है, okay, स्कल्पचर भी होता है, आर्किटेक्चर भी होता है. Sometimes, you know, all these different mediums, they do influence each other. Okay, sometimes they don't.
Yes,
and even if they are not influenced by some other movement, क्या होता है, they tend to display certain features which you might find, the same features which you might find in another medium or another art form.
Yes, sir.
Does not mean कि there was a direct relationship, you know. So you क्यों होता है, that is a study of sociology which you're not getting into, लेकिन ऐसा होता है कभी. तुमने जो अभी influence of impressionism on cinema जो लिखा, तुमने जो points जो तुम बताया सही बोला, लेकिन I doubt whether they were influenced by impressionism or not directly. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
Post-impressionism, unlike impressionism, post-impressionism rejects the strictness of painting visual reality in terms of colors, space, shapes, and patterns. Post-impressionists believe that the colors could be more independent with forms and compositions to convey the state of mind of an artist. The names of pioneer post-impressionists consists of Paul Cézanne, Vincent van Gogh, and Georges Seurat. Vincent van Gogh used contrasting brush strokes and colors to express his emotions. He transformed straight brush strokes into broken curved brush strokes in his painting Starry Nights, Café Terrace at Night, and Irises. Georges Seurat used small dots to paint the entire canvas with different shades of colors instead of sharp brush strokes. His painting Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte is an iconic example of post-impressionism, more precisely pointillism.
Okay. तुमने फीचर्स दिया, एग्जांपल्स दिया. ओके, फर्स्ट 2 पैराग्राफ्स में तुमने हाँ फीचर्स दिया, फिर थर्ड पैराग्राफ से तुमने नेम्स दिया, और फिर फोर्थ पैराग्राफ में एक पर्टिकुलर पेंटर का स्टाइल तुमने एनालाइज किया. ओके, एंड लास्ट में और अनदर पेंटर विद डिफरेंट स्टाइल बट फॉल्स अंडर द सेम कैटेगरी. ठीक है? या ओके, दिस फेयर इनफ.
Influence of post-impressionism on cinema. The sci-fi movies are an important example of influence of post-impressionism on cinema. Filmmakers believe the pairing of aestheticism of post-impression style and sci-fi films was a genius move. Sci-fi films consist of mythical creatures and supernatural powers that need different backdrops or sets to create the intended experience. For instance, dark background sky from Starry Night of Vincent van Gogh paired with flying cars and advanced technologies can present dark and violent experience. The key features of dark colors, bright colors, their contrasts and compositions of unnatural colors evoke feeling of both awe and despair.
Okay, देखो यहाँ पे क्या है, तुमने जो एग्जाम्पल दिया साई-फाई का एग्जाम्पल दिया, ठीक है? Sci-fi films का एग्जाम्पल दिया. According to you, they are influenced by post-impressionist tradition. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And तुमने फिर, for instance, dark background sky from Starry Night of देखो Starry Night, when you, this is a proper noun, this is not a common noun. So S should be capital, night का N should be capital. ये याद रखो, ये basic errors मत करो.
Okay, sir.
it reflects negatively on you, ठीक है ना?
Okay,
So
sir.
बोलेगा कि केयरलेस स्टूडेंट है। जैसे विंसेंट वैन गॉग तुमने कैप्स में डाला G और V, लेकिन स्टारी नाइट तुमने स्मॉल लेटर्स में डाला,
Yes, sir.
ठीक
Yes,
है?
sir.
Paired with flying cars and advanced technology can present dark and violent experience. So I'm not very sure about sci-fi movies, but of course there have been films where certain filmmakers like Kurosawa, you know, in one of his films, Naresh, what is that film by Kurosawa? जहाँ पे he used this kind of, you know, अपना Vincent Van Gogh kind of colors.
हाँ वो मैं बताता हूँ उसका पेंटिंग लास्ट की फिल्म है, उसके मरने से 3-4 साल पहले का फिल्म।
हाँ वो later films, one of his last films। तो उसका पूरा तुम फिल्म अगर देखोगे अकीरा कुरोसावा का, तो एकदम डायरेक्ट, इट्स लाइक अ डायरेक्ट as of is paying direct homage to Vincent Van Gogh।
Yes, sir.
Post impressions, the color scheme जो उसका है, okay,
Yes, sir.
and it's look like an animated painting of a moving painting of Vincent Van Gogh।
Okay, sir.
Lekin these are specific influences playing on particular films। I wonder if post-impressionism was, you know, played a role like, you know, like expressionism did on cinema।
I think it was dreams or Rhapsody in August।
Yeah। The dreams and all, you can say post-impressionism मतलब
It's a
influences
dreamy
है।
kind of sequences.
हाँ, देखो क्या है अभी, यू नो, तुम अगर सिनेमा स्टडी करोगे, तुम देखोगे ड्रीम सीक्वेंसेस और हेलुसिनेशंस। ड्रग्स लिया है, कोई बंदा हेलुसिनेट कर रहा है एलएसडी लेके,
Yes, sir.
या कोई ड्रीम देख रहा है, या नाइटमेयर देख रहा है, उसका जो दुनिया है, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द सिनेमैटिक वर्ल्ड ऑफ अ ड्रीम और
Yes, sir.
हेलुसिनेशन, ड्रग इन्फ्यूज्ड हेलुसिनेशन। ये जो दुनिया जो है, नेचर ऑफ डिपिक्शन जो है, you know, it may not conform to one particular movement। ऐसा तुम नहीं बोल सकते this is surrealism and not post-impressionism।
Yeah, yes, sir.
or this is post-impressionism and not surrealism or not expressionism।
Can be
ऐसा नहीं है।
combination.
It could be a combination, it may not be a conscious combination at all। You know,
Yes, sir.
it could be like unconscious kind of thing, something the director felt and the art director felt कि ऐसा नया reality create करते हैं, ठीक है? और एक चीज है कि 20th century में हम लोग जब आ जाते हैं, lot of these art movements which you come to know, especially surrealism, were heavily influenced by psychology, especially the studies of Vincent van Gogh, Sigmund Freud। Okay,
Yes, sir.
so Sigmund Freud is known as the father of modern psychology, who probed the human psyche like nobody else before him। There was psychology before him also, there was modern psychology before him also। Okay, there were
sir.
probing of the minds before him also, but he came and gave a radical interpretation, a different twist to he brought in sexual elements, he, you know, reduced everything in terms of childhood sexual repression, sexual expression, unpleasant sexual experiences, and repression of unpleasant sexual memories or desires। So, and this came to influence a lot of literature, a lot of cinema, and a lot of other art forms। Okay।
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, चलो।
So,
Thank you, sir.
Ranjan, I would suggest now it's 7 o'clock. Let's take a 10-minute break, and then whatever pointers you have made, we'll look at that. And if the time would permit, then we will one or two other students also have written. So we will take their thing later on after your pointers।
Okay, ठीक है, no problem।
We'll meet at 7:10, gentlemen. Please be here at 7:10। We'll meet after 10 minutes. So I'm just checking the live transcription which is happening। Okay.
Yeah, are we ready?
Okay. So, gentlemen, just give me a moment. So we are here. These are the pointers for 26 November. The 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So which one you want to start with? First one?
Impressionism. I want to start with Impressionism. ठीक है ना? देखो क्या है? To the students, you know, if you look at it at the if you look at the order of chronology, okay, then Impressionism comes first, then comes Post-Impressionism, of course, and then comes Expressionism, because Impressionism started somewhat as I think around 1860s, sometime around 1860s in France. Okay, so I've not mentioned the date. I've not mentioned the and I mentioned the artists also. Okay, so I've just mentioned the features. A lot of it is taken from social media, okay, internet, and there a lot of personal observations also. So a lot of it you guys also already have mentioned. Okay, so it's a French movement that started in the arts from the paintings in the 1860s. Okay, it emerged as a reaction against the depiction of mythological and historical subject matters, which may have literary or anecdotal references. For example, artworks that were created to convey certain meanings. देखो impressionism से पहले, you know, Renaissance बोलो, classical art बोलो, या impressionism से पहले जो realistic art जो होते थे, okay, realism बोलो, those were paintings which wanted to say something, you know, wanted to depict. क्लासिकल एरा तुम देखोगे गॉड के साथ इंसान का रिलेशनशिप क्या है, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स का रिलेशनशिप क्या है. They were very moralistic in tone, the paintings of the classical era, okay, which dealt with mythology and gods, and mainly gods, the relationship between gods and human beings. Okay, very, very moralistic in tone. Renaissance में क्या है? Renaissance में the human being became very important, because Renaissance में there are a lot of innovations which were happening. Human being, the man was the center of the universe, and he was full of ideas and he was exploring the world in terms of inventions, in terms of, you know, new methods and methodologies. So man was given prominence. He was like the center of the universe. Okay. Then you had Romanticism, where Romanticism was also a very important movement. And please don't confuse Romanticism with romantic love. Okay, Romanticism was basically a very sentimental way of looking at things. So the paintings which fell under Romanticism, you'll see, you know, a village girl carrying a pail of water, wearing a nice dress, walking beside a river. Very, very idealistic. Romanticism always depicted a very idealistic view of a nature. Okay, idealistic view of the world. जो होना चाहिए, जैसा होना उचित है. That was Romanticism. Okay. Now, realism came as a reaction against Romanticism. Realism was much more interested in showing not what an ideal world should look like, but what the world is like. And what the world is like is not a very, you know, pleasant experience. So realism turned its focus on urban. By the time we come to 18th century and the 19th century, you know, industrial revolution had already taken place, and industry had started developing all over Europe. So there was a lot of migration which was happening from the villages to the urban, new urban centers. A lot of factories cropped up. A new class was born, the working class, the proletariat. Okay, and they lived lived in hell. The living conditions were extremely unhygienic, and they were very poorly paid, and they become alcoholics, and the family life was not good at all. They were wife beaters. The children grew up under these kind of circumstances. So realism in Europe in 19th century depicted reacted against romanticism, which idealized life, okay, a romantic view of life, whereas realism depicted said कि भैया ये सब बकवास है, ये idealism वगैरह, okay, जो है सच्चाई जो है वो दिखाओ. So it concentrated on the reality, the reality as it exists. Okay, so so you have classical, you have Renaissance, you have romanticism, then you have these are the broad movements. Then you have realism, then you have impressionism. Okay, so impressionism paintings jo hone lage, the artists, they were master realist painters. Actually, they were trained painters, they were master realist painters, but they were not happy with their craft, they were not happy with the art that they engaged in. They said ki bhaiya, why should a work of art convey some kind of a a lesson or some kind of a meaning or some kind of a significance? Art is a medium, definitely medium of expression. That does not mean that art has to relate to something else. Okay, so why can't art be, the art be for the sake of art, art for the sake of art? Realist paintings were like art for the sake of life. Okay, so impressionism was like art for the sake of art. We will not look beyond the painting. We'll look, the painting is not an interpretation. Of course, it is an interpretation of life. Okay, but the viewer who's watching my painting, my work of art, that is the end. He is not required to look beyond. So the paintings became, I've used a word in the third pointer, it's called self-reflexive. Do you see self-reflexive? Self-reflexive ka maane kya hai? Matlab kya hai? Calling attention to itself in terms of color, tone, texture, etc., and did not want the viewer to look beyond for any meaning. समझ में आ रहा है? The brush strokes were very, very visible. So your concentration, the viewer's concentration is restricted to the brush strokes, the pains. He's not, looking beyond that. Okay, so the traditional subject matters dealing with history and mythology, they were downgraded, they were abandoned. Okay, they did depict realistic scenes of ordinary subjects, but they were very peaceful landscapes, families enjoying picnics and all. Okay, but the difference with realism was that realism was like a realist painting actually looked like a photograph. Okay, but impressionist painting actually did not look like a photograph. You were aware of the brush strokes, you were aware of the vivid colors. Okay, and so you're aware that it's a craft. Okay, it's not a mirror of life, it's something which is an end in itself. Please don't look beyond. So when a work of art calls attention to itself on the craft, it's called self-reflexive, which came to cinema much later during the French New Wave. Godard and all, they started making a kind of cinema where you are aware of the process of filmmaking. The illusion of a world created on the screen, Godard did away with that. Okay, Godard always pointed to you, the cinema is not a mirror or a reflection of society. It is an artificial thing. It is an artifice. Okay, so this kind of approach is called self-reflexive. So Impressionism did a similar thing with paintings. Okay, now of course point number 5, scroll down a little, Naresh. मैंने का पेंटिंग के बारे में तुम देखोगे, जो यहाँ पे लिखा है, the subject became a vehicle for artful composition of the areas of flat color and perspective and depth were minimized so that the viewers would look at the surface patterns and the relationship of the elements within the picture. So look at the pattern that I've created, look at the colors that I'm using, look at the the relationship between the different elements. Okay, it is and please, this formal elements, please appreciate the formal elements, please engage with the formal elements, people. Don't look beyond. It's not a mirror of a society. Okay, so this is again self-reflexive in nature. So of course other features you already know, painting outdoors instead of studios, forms lost the clear outlines, and now I'll talk a little bit about the inherent the aesthetics which it practiced. Okay, just as the next you see, compositions became open. What do I mean by open? Like modern cinema, if you look at any film today, you'll see cars and the cars and characters going out of the frame and they re-enter the frame, and there's a constant movement happening in and out of the frame. It's called open composition. this kind of framing, this kind of composition called open, as opposed to studio like, मतलब पुराने जमाने का हॉलीवुड फिल्म अगर देखोगे, जितने भी सीन्स होते हैं, तुम देखोगे the characters gather around a central object, maybe a table. Okay, they stand around that table having tea or having wine, and they're talking amongst themselves. Even when the character moves, the camera starts tracking with the characters. The characters never leave the frame. Okay, they're always 90% of the time they're always inside the frame, like a group photo. पुराने जमाने में हम लोग जब बच्चे थे, हमारे मम्मी डैडी के साथ स्टूडियो में जाते थे, हम लोग ग्रुप में खड़े हो जाते थे, कैमरा के ओर देखते थे, हमारा फोटो लिया जाता था. It was very artificial. It was very kind of closed world. Whereas Impressionism, so paintings were also like that. Realist paintings also gave you that impression of a closed world, as if there was no world which existed outside the frame. Even if you look at classical paintings, or if you look at Renaissance paintings, there was no world which, so an entire world is concentrated. But whereas Impressionist paintings, if you study dekhoge, it gives an impression of a world which also lies outside the frame, as if the world that you see inside the frame is an extension of the outside world, and vice versa. Vice versa matlab, there's a world which spills out of the frames, which continues, and the Impressionist painter has just captured a moment, a slice. Okay, so the ephemeral nature of the painting was very important. Ephemeral nature matlab, which is fleeting, which is temporary, which is not permanent. Okay, that is why they use lighter shades. The form and even the outlines which they did, there were not very clear, well demarcated outlines of the objects. Everything had that quality of transient quality. Cinema also is transient quality. Cinema mein things are happening, shots are passing, another shot is coming, another scene is happening, then another scene is coming. So cinema gives you a fleeting nature of the life. Similarly, cinema is movement. Of course, Impressionist paintings are not movement. Okay, they capture a life in a moment. Okay, there could be a moment before that, there could have been a moment after that. And this is the moment that the artist has captured. So there's a tremendous amount of the last for the ephemeral nature of landscape. Nothing was permanent, as if caught at a fleeting moment. The transient quality or the passage of time was important for them. Okay, and that is how they lit up the use. That is how they used colors to depict this transient quality. So these are the similarities between cinema and Impressionist paintings. Does not mean Impressionism directly influenced cinema, because the nature of cinema is different. The nature of cinema is movement. It's not static. So तुम अगर movement image अगर capture कर रहे हो, तो वहाँ पे you're capturing moving images basically. Things are happening, things have happened, something else is happening now, that becomes past, something else now is happening. It's constantly moving forward. The plot is unfolding. The character is going through a change, transformation. We call it character arc. Okay. So that is the impression that you gather even in an Impressionist painting. Clear hai, or you want to ask any question? Just go down a little, Naresh. Okay. Do you want to ask any question, any of you, about what I just said?
और ये सब समझ कब आएगा? जब थोड़ा जिंदगी में सर फोड़ोगे, एक दो वेबसाइट पे जाओगे, वहां पे 11 पेंटर जो मेजर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं इम्प्रेशनिज्म के, उनके बारे में देखोगे, उनका काम देखोगे, तब ये बातें पल्ले पड़ेंगी. सोते सोते मोबाइल का वीडियो ऑफ करके बिस्तर में लेटे रहोगे तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला जिंदगी में.
देखो, तुम्हें स्टडी करना ही पड़ेगा बॉस. I mean, without studies you cannot really, मतलब you cannot do anything.
I would be shocked that every day, Ranjan, I spend 4 hours in scrolling a particular website where 3,000 painters with a high resolution images are there. I found a site after spending hours and hours where you could download the high resolution image of a painting. One site only, which has a 3,000 painters work available, free of cost. High resolution, 3 MB.
Oh, okay.
I will share with you. I will not
please,
share with everybody here. Whoever is sitting and like a tourist, they come here. People who have worked, no, it's very important. People who have worked hard, they need to be rewarded. And the reward will come in terms of sharing the information, which will take hours and hours for these boys who are sitting here shamelessly and listening. Didn't bother to work hard. So I'll share certain things. From time to time, whosoever is working hard, I have listed those people for sure, and they will be rewarded. Which has nothing to do with your payment which you have made it. Payment you have made, you are listening to it, simple. That's it. But the reward would come to those people who are hardworking and sincere. Chaliye.
Okay. So now post-impressions, I've not mentioned artists for obvious reasons. All of you know the names of the artists and all, and I'm not good getting into the details of Van Gogh and Paul Gauguin and all these people, very famous. Okay. I'm just talking about the characteristics. 1886 to 1905, the movement tha. Okay. It was a reaction against the Impressionists. They did continue a lot of tradition, the Impressionists tradition, of course. That is why it's called post-impressionism. But they also went against the tradition. Koi bhi tradition, borrows from the previous tradition and also, goes against it. It's a natural phenomenon. Koi bhi artistic movement ke saath aisa hota hai. Okay. So the reaction against the natural depiction of light and color of the Impressionists, the way the Impressionists depicted light and color, they reacted against that, though they continued using vivid colors like the Impressionists. Achha, yahan pe kya hai? Emphasis on geometric forms, distorted forms, and use of unnatural or arbitrary. A lot of you have written this. Emphasis on more abstract qualities. Impressionists were not dealing with abstract qualities. They were showing you landscapes. Okay, they were not interested in symbolic content like the classical painters. They were not interested in mythology. Okay, but post-impressionist artists, they were interested in abstract qualities and symbolic content, and they were also interested in a structure and a formal order. Formal order and structure मतलब impressionist paintings अगर तुम देखोगे, impressionist का जो दुनिया है, वहाँ पे structure के ऊपर उतना emphasis नहीं है, in the sense कि things are, as I told you, things are very ephemeral, very transitory, fleeting. Abhi hai, iske baad next moment it will not be there. So it lacks a sense of order. It lacks a sense of structure because things are constantly moving. Whereas the post-impressionist kya hai? They concentrated, they focused on the structure, well composed, frames where all the elements are properly balanced, and there's a formal order. Much more in terms of composition, they're much more, you can say, conservative, if I can use a word. Okay, emphasis was on stronger colors and solid shapes. Solid shapes, but you can make out the shapes. Okay, whereas in impressionism, the forms and shapes were very soft, less solid, more organic, matlab flowing into each other. Impressionist painting, dekhoge, one object is flowing almost into the next object. The way they were painted, okay, they were like mingling with each other. But in post-impressionist paintings, they stood out against each other. Okay, so the outlines were clearly demarcated. Outline, if not the outlines, at least you could make out the yellow from the green from the red from the blue. Wahan pe kya impressionist paintings mein, they tend to merge. Okay, so post-impressionist painting was more like a little kind of I would say, if I have to use a word, like somebody who's gone to the gym to take care of his body kind of, and he's very conscious of his body. Whereas impressionism also took care of his body, but not through gym, but through a natural, spontaneous means. Okay, so there's an element of spontaneity which was there in impressionism, and post-impressionism much more, quote unquote, rigid, not in the negative sense of the term. It focused purely on things like they're very particular about this compositions and the forms. There has to be an order, there has to be some kind of a structure. Okay, so this is post-impressionism. Okay, now we go down to just scroll down a little, and of course subjective approach to painting. They wanted to evoke emotion rather than realism in their work. जैसे कि देखो impressionist paintings also, they actually drew realistic paintings, but of ordinary subjects. Okay, but their method of showing those realistic settings were different. They wanted to call attention themselves, the self-reflexive का जो मैं बात बोल रहा था, कि look at the colors that we are using. ठीक है, reality तो है, हम लोग reality का ही हम लोग painting हम लोग draw किया. I'm talking about impressionism, not post-impressionism. Okay, so there was still, impressionist paintings were not completely divorced from realism, but post-impressionist painters, they wanted to evoke emotion more than realism in their work. So that is why the previous few lines वहाँ पे दिया ना, symbolic meanings and all those abstract ideas. They were more interested in those abstract ideas and symbolic meanings than depicting reality as it existed. Okay, and of course they were done in studios, unlike the impressionist painters who were going to the location and doing the paintings. Now, expressionism is a very influential. Then came expressionism. So I'm going by the order of chronology. Okay, so expressionism क्या है? Early 20th century German movement. देखो, एक चीज अभी I'll go through the points, but एक चीज समझ लो कि for the first time there's a complete dissonance. There's a complete dissonance between the individual and the society. There is no harmony between the individual and the society. When you're looking at classical painting, you know, there's a harmony between the mythological world of gods and that is what they depicted in human beings. When you look at Renaissance, you know, as if the world, the human being, the man is the center of the universe, and the universe is an extension of the human being, his talents. Okay, it acknowledges human being as a great guy. The man is a great guy. You know, he's at the center of the painting. Okay, then you have romanticism. Okay, romanticism may the individuals that you see on the frame on the painting, he or she is in perfect harmony with nature. A very idealistic portrayal of nature, which was not there in real life. So the depiction of an urban rural setting was so romanticized कि rural setting में ऐसा नहीं था बस. Rural setting में भी बहुत पंगा था, बहुत problems थे. लेकिन the romantic painters idealized, in their poetry they idealized, in their paintings they idealized. Okay, realists were the first people who showed a discordant note between society and the individual, and depicted the reality from a purely quote-unquote realistic manner. It did not distort reality. Okay, and realism mein kya hai? They did not emphasize, realistic paintings did not emphasize on the subjective side of the human being, which expressionism did. So by the time we arrive at expressionism, this movement, by this time, you know, in history, you know, so I'll just read out, it will help you to understand. Expressionism, second point, that was a response to the acute contradictions of the time and marked the protest of the individual against total alienation, which had by this time clearly manifested itself in European society. Okay, it regarded technological progress as a horror. Crowds matlab something horrifying. You know, it was a fruit of social desire. The individual is completely disenchanted with the world and the so-called technical innovations which were happening. Okay, he's subsumed, as if he's subsumed by the technology. He has lost his soul, he has lost his identity. Okay, and he doesn't want that. He's struggling against this kind of a society which has become, you know, which is defined by technological progress. So the expressionist hero is driven by very powerful emotions. He's not a weak character, huh? He's driven by very powerful emotions in a restless world which is torn by passions. The individual is bewildered, so he's living in a chaotic world. He perceives the world as chaotic. It's his subject, of course, it's his subjective perception. Okay, he thinks the world is chaotic, the world is a dangerous place, the world is conflicted. Okay, and he's incapable of forming. I am incapable of forming a harmonious relationship with this world, unlike the realist, the individual of the realistic art. Okay, realistic art may still there's some kind of a harmony between the depiction of a very nasty reality and the individual. So by the time we come to expressionism, the hero, the main guy, he's living in a torment. He's a tormented soul. He's a disturbed soul. He's a psychological case. Okay. So next point, man is a victim of the social institutions he has himself created and which have gone out of his control. Irrational things happen to him for which the individual has no explanation. Shakespeare का beautiful line है Hamlet में, the world is out of joint. मतलब world का कोई axis नहीं है. It has come out of the axis. Everything is moving and shaking. There's no sense of time and space. The world is out of joint. Okay, the famous dialogue by Hamlet. Okay, so and things happen, without any explanation. Franz Kafka, the Czech writer, most famous representative of literature of expressionist. तुम short stories अगर पढ़ोगे या novels पढ़ोगे, there's a very famous novel by Franz Kafka called The Trial, or there's a character called K. उसका पूरा नाम भी नहीं है. K is suddenly, arrested for no reason. He's not really arrested. He's called to certain organization, which is again never specified what is that organization, and is asked to account for himself. So he starts feeling he's actually guilty of something, but he doesn't know what he's guilty of. Okay, and he cannot escape the organization. He has to constantly go to the organization and account for his activities and account for his deeds. And he's a paranoid creature. And so हम लोग बोलते हैं Kafkaesque world. Cinema में भी हम लोग कभी-कभी Kafkaesque world create करते हैं, which is a purely expressionist world basically. तुम Kafka का famous short story है Metamorphosis. One day Gregor Samsa woke up and discovered that he has turned into an insect. The famous first line of a very famous, world famous short story, The Metamorphosis. The protagonist of the short story, he wakes up one morning and discovers that he has turned into an insect. And the rest of the story, and it is everything in such a matter of fact manner, as if it's nothing unnatural happening. So the sister comes and opens the door and discovers my brother's turned into a cockroach. She goes and tells her parents, "Arey, dekho, bhaiya cockroach ban gaya." And they come and look at him. People come, and he's not being able to communicate with his family members. And the tension that arises, and they're not looking at it, looking at this transformation from an unrealistic angle. They feel they are very unfortunate that our son has become a cockroach, and there's no explanation which has been provided by Franz Kafka. So this is the world of expressionism, where things are irrational, where the character is in dissonance with his immediate surroundings and society, including his family, including his near ones and dear ones. Okay, so he is living in a chaotic world. He is living in a hostile world, from where in its manifestation, man lives in a hostile world from where there is no way out. There is no hope. It's a hopeless world that he's living in. There's utter confusion happening. So just go down a little. Hallmarks मैं अभी दिखा रहा हूँ. Last 2 points. देखो hallmarks क्या है? When they're expressed in paintings or in films or in literature, hallucinatory vision, extremes in everything, rapid succession of episodes, contrasting mise-en-scenes, active and individualistic political protests. Okay, individualistic political processes generally happen in groups. The farmers have been doing this they're doing in group, isn't it? But here happens a political protest, it's purely individualistic. He's not connected with any other individual or a group. He's alone. Okay, and he wants to be left alone. He tries to build a bridge with the world, but he fails to build a bridge with the world. He's absolutely alienated. Okay, so last one is fragmentation is the leading aesthetic category of expressionism. It is expressionism which gave rise to the next important movement, which is called existentialism. Okay, I'll not talk about existentialism today. It will take up a lot of time. That is another very big a movement and a tradition which is still ongoing, basically, existentialism. It stems directly from expressionism. Now, if you translate expressionism into cinema, okay, transfer, okay, so I've written down this definition, which applies not only to cinema but also to literature and paintings. Expressionism refers to the manner of visual or artistic expression that seeks to represent the external world as a reflection of the inner feelings of the world or author. This is in sharp contrast to realism, which seeks to represent the external world objectively, independent of any particular personal point of view. समझने का कोशिश करो. देखो realism में क्या है, जो individual जो है और उसका जो दुनिया है, it's a very disturbing दुनिया. It's a very kind of where things are not right. Okay, and the paintings which depict this world, and through realism, okay, and that world will exist even if the particular individual is not there. That means in realism, the world exists in spite of the characters. It is out there. It is physical. It is real. Okay. लेकिन expressionism में क्या है? The world is there, which is very disturbing. Okay, but that world is perceived through the psychological or the subjective point of view of the character. That is how the character sees the world. It is his reflection. It's his attitude, which might differ from another individual. Okay, so the way I see the world, if I'm a paranoid character, because heroes or the protagonists or the characters of expressionist stories or films or theater, most of them are paranoid. So the way they look at the world, it reflects the paranoia, their paranoia. So if you look at German expressionist cinema, तुम्हें जो art direction दिखाई देता है, that is actually a reflection. That is not real, na? Of course, that is not real. Okay, but that is a reflection of the paranoid personality. That personality, that character in the film, German expressionist cinema, is suffering from delusions. He's a madman basically, or he's on the threshold of becoming mad. He's definitely paranoid. Okay, so the world that he sees will be a distorted world, which is depicted through art direction. So these are some of the common, points which you will find in German expressionist cinema. Anti-hero, if not downright evil, because evil characters are also, are at the center of the story of a lot of these films, which often involves madness, paranoia, and obsessive behavior, and is told in whole or in part from a subjective point of view. This is very important, from a subjective point of view. The setting is primarily urban setting. There are exceptions, of course, particularly in the case of Murnau, F.W. Murnau, who later migrated to America, made wonderful films in America, Hollywood, providing ample opportunity to explore visual expression. They will just go down a little. Sometimes a lot of these films are set in the criminal underworld.
Sir, may I disturb?
Bolo.
Sir, can you just explain the point, subjective point of view?
Subjective, देखो, अगर एक बंदा अगर paranoid है, suffering from extreme delusion. Yesterday I was watching a very feature film, a very bad feature film, where the lady, the protagonist, a young woman, she's suffering from guilt consciousness, and she thinks she is responsible for the suicide of her lover. Okay, she holds herself responsible. So she's suffering from acute depression. Okay, and her depression is so much, her trauma is so much, because she went to meet the boyfriend and the boyfriend is hanging from the ceiling. She couldn't take it, and she is not being able to recover from that particular image. So क्या हो रहा है, वो अकेली रहती है, एक बहुत बड़ा मकान में अकेली रहती है, okay, और वो देख रही है कि उसका बॉयफ्रेंड उसके सामने आके खड़ा है, वो डर जा रही है या बातें कर रही है, बॉयफ्रेंड उसके साथ बात कर रहा है, उसका मम्मी जो बहुत साल पहले मर चुकी है, वो भी आके उसके साथ बात कर रही है, ओके, और उसका जो आंट था जिसको वो मम्मी की तरह ट्रीट करती थी, वो भी सुसाइड की है, वो भी आके उसके साथ बहुत नेचुरली कैजुअली बात करती है. So whenever we seeing these characters, dead characters, interacting with our heroine, it is not something real, isn't it? It is something which she feels. She really believes कि ये लोग, they have risen from their death and are coming and interacting with me. So she goes and meets a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist asks her, आप सच्ची का ये सब विजन्स देख रहे हैं? हाँ, मैं देख रहा हूँ, मेरा मम्मी आके मुझसे बात करती है, मेरा आंटी आके बात करती है, मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड आके बात करती है मेरे साथ. So this is what I mean by subjective, the subjective outlook. So in expressionist cinema, तुम अगर देखोगे expressionist cinema, वहाँ पे जो art direction जो है, distorted art direction and geometrical predominance of geometrical figures and all, okay, those are basically reflections of the subjective mind. Subjective mind मतलब जो psychology, तुम्हारा जो psychology है, उसका reflection है. The world is not like that. The world is straight. It's not distorted. I mean the structures. Okay, but because I'm suffering from paranoia, because I have some kind of a delusion, when I'm looking at the world, I feel the world is like that. Follow? जैसे कि, what is LSD? LSD was a very popular drug at one point of time in the 60s and the early 70s. Hippies लोग used to have LSDs. Okay, so whenever somebody had LSD, and he was listening to music, घर में बैठ के, so he would see music literally flowing out of the speakers in rainbow colors. So that is so ऐसा तो होता नहीं है ना. You hear music, you do not see music. Okay, so you are under the influence of right, lysergic acid. So short form is LSD. So if you're under the influence of LSD, actually you can.
क्लास नहीं चल रहा है यहाँ पर कि LSD का फुल फॉर्म बताओगे तो
वो भी है यार. So LSD के में तो म्यूजिक सिर्फ नॉट ओनली सुनाई दे रहा है, तुम्हें दिखाई भी दे रहा है. So it doesn't happen like that now. But for that particular character, it's happening like that. So that is what I call. That is what we call. It's not my term. The subject reflect. So the music becomes his subjective reflection when the visual music dekh raha hai. Okay. So the world of expressionism is a world which basically reflects the psychological condition of the character. Okay, और ये जो we did not go through the other points. These are purely technical. Okay, but ये just जान लो कि ये sets जो होते थे, the sets पूरा outdoor shooting involved नहीं था, indoors में shoot करते थे. तो ऐसा set तुम्हें indoor में ही बनाना पड़ेगा. Okay, and the German directors and technicians explored all means of developing lighting technique and decor. Okay, into underscore matlab emphasize, huh? A dramatic impact and to step start. And these guys, these technicians, most of them were Jews, huh? Germany में वो जमाने में, you know, the art world, the medical world, the world of literature, the world of architecture, all these worlds were dominated by the Jews, and the Jews were hated by certain people, the right-wing people, the Nazi party, Hitler, and all. So when the Nazi party started rising, the Jews could understand कि भैया अभी हवा गर्म है, things are going to be difficult for us. So the Jews are mostly very rich because they were business people, most of them. They were business people also, and they were intellectuals also, artists and intellectuals also. So the people who could afford, वहाँ से cut लिया, before Hitler came to power, cut के artists and all, filmmakers, cameramen, and art directors and all, they migrated to Hollywood. Hollywood welcomed them with open arms. Please come to Hollywood. Hollywood always did that. To यूरोप में कोई भी अगर फेमस हो जा रहा है, अच्छा काम कर रहा है, इधर आ जा भैया, हमारे लिए फिल्म बना. Studio bosses used to call them. There was a major migration which happened. Okay, a lot of Einstein. You know, Einstein was a German. He's a Jew. He also migrated to I think eventually America. He migrated to America. Okay, and there were other Jews, were common people, ordinary businessmen, shopkeepers, and all who could not afford to migrate. They were caught. They were arrested, they were put into concentration camps and died. And you know the history of the Holocaust, जिसे बोलते हैं, Holocaust. Okay, so this migration of German Jewish technicians and filmmakers, you know, influenced Hollywood filmmaking in a kind of a radical manner, especially this particular genre which dealt with urban crime. Urban crime, matlab, this genre came to be known as film noir, N-O-I-R. It's not pronounced as noir, huh? It's film noir, dark film. It's a French word, film noir. It dealt with people, ordinary people who are caught up in a kind of a criminal, unwittingly they are caught up in a criminal activity, and they suffer at the end. I'll not discuss film noir elements today because then it will take me another 1 hour to talk about film noir, which is one of my favorite genres. Maybe another day. Okay, so yeah, so that is German expressionism, and German expression cinema did have a last देखो acting was an integral part of expression style. Gestures were brusque and exaggerated. मतलब थोड़ा सा तुम्हें आज के तारीख में तुम देखोगे German expression फिल्मों के जो acting हुआ करता है वो बहुत ही over acting लगेगा तुम्हें, लेकिन तुम वो context में देखो कि अगर एक बंदा paranoid है तो वैसा वो behave कर रहा है. Okay, so बस यही है. Second last paragraph, Naresh will be able to throw light more, chiaroscuro lighting and all, play of light and shadow, you know, to bring out that mood, that gloomy mood, that mood of paranoia, that mood of a world which is distorted, which is conflicted. So basically, expressionism का key line अगर तुम बोलोगे, it's about the individual, you know, in conflict with the society. There's a complete dissonance between the society and the individual, and there's no scope for any kind of synthesis anymore. There's no scope for a renewal of a harmonious relationship. Completely divorced. He's a gone case. The expressionist hero is a gone case, simply. And it's a very pessimistic world. It's a very, very pessimistic and a disturbing world. And a lot of exciting literature has come out of that. Franz Kafka hai, and so many painters वगैरह जो है, musicians हैं, not musicians so much, but of course filmmakers and all. Okay, so this is all. Any questions or any clarification you want?
Sir, I want to ask you, like which you have explained about the realist closed world and the open world.
Closed world और open world, देखो जो composition है, तुम हॉलीवुड का पुराना फिल्म अगर देखोगे, studios early.
I'll just add, Ranjan, what he's trying to say is, studio के अंदर जो आप realistic painters देखोगे, which are as good as photographs. Because I'm discovering many new names which were never I heard of. They were big, so the painting is as good as photograph, or rather I would say sometimes better than photograph. So most of these kind of painting were done inside the spaces, like whether it's a palace or house or portraits, inside. When these painter went outside, which was a landscape, which was a nature, river, so it was an open world in that sense of the term, in terms of the activities, like shooting inside the studio and shooting at the location. So that is what I think he was trying to point out.
Yeah. और तुम when you are shooting,
visual space.
और तुम जब लोकेशन में शूट कर रहे हो, लैंडस्केप शूट कर रहे हो या लाइव शूट कर रहे हो रियल लोकेशन में जाके, तो वहां पे तो कांस्टेंट मूवमेंट हो रहा है ना. आई मीन the painting of course captures the moment, but there's an impression of a world which lies outside the frames. So that is called open composition. फिल्मों में तुम देखोगे कोई भी सीन हो रहा है, बैकग्राउंड में कार्स जा रहे हैं, लोग आ रहे हैं, री एंट्री ले रहे हैं, constant movement in and out of the frame. So it's like an open composition. We call it open framing or open composition, as opposed to studio-centric kind of approach where all the characters are gathered around a table. Okay, and I wish I could, I show you some examples, but we cannot right now. So एक है open composition, एक होता है closed composition. So open composition जहाँ पे feels that the life is spilling out of the frames, and closed composition is जहाँ पे the life is like, as if there's no life outside the frame.
And it is more confined
space,
dark,
yeah.
Very dark kind of a corners. You will not feel going out of the frame. You will be centering your attention at the main subject, which could be most of the time are going to be portrait of rich women's or prince or their king and queen. All these kind of portrait are very confined. You are focusing on the center, on them.
Exactly. And so in an open composition, your focus of interest could be distributed. It may not be on a particular point. You
see many of the paintings of Van Gogh, particularly the open landscape, and other people like Matisse and all that. So you will feel that it is not confined.
So one more question.
Bolo.
So in terms of colors, like how would you differentiate between the impressionism and post-impressionism? Because both are vibrant, both are colorful. Like you were saying that like there is a quite a difference between the greens or the yellow, like there is outline between them. But how would you clearly define like the impression and post-impression printing in terms of
so
color?
Impressionism में क्या, the colors tend to flow into each other. ठीक है ना? The demarcation line is not there so much. Okay, whereas in post-impressionism, the colors are not flowing into each other. They are very distinct. The distinct categories. Okay, they are properly outlined. That is, this is a very general. Kind of observation. Okay, so in order to study more, you just look up the net and figure out the differences. Between impressionist and post-impressionist.
All right.
Follow. Impressionism, colors are merging, almost they are merging. Okay. Whereas the use of colors in this thing, post-impressionism, the objects are distinctly categorized. So there's a sense of separation. There's a sense of separation from one object to one object from another object.
And there is no agenda kind of a thing like for certain kind of thing you have to follow. There was no commandment that if you follow these commandments, then you will be known as post-impression.
Yeah,
They
the
were not
impression.
the commandments. It is up to you, but certain norms you could figure it out. Okay, there is no detailed of a leaf, for example, which you might find in the painting of certain painters. So you know that this is a leaf. You know that this is a girl. You know that she is wearing green, but you don't know the folds and their in terms of the detailing, in terms of the texture, which is more realistic. So it is not realistic, it is suggestive. You know that this is a girl who is wearing this and this and this. So, and also the style, every painter has a particular style. If you see,
They're not following up. ऐसा नहीं कि all of them are following the same style. हर इंसान, हर artist का अपना अपना अलग-अलग style था. But they had a lot of common elements also. That is why it's a movement.
And if you look into the particular painting of a particular painter, then you will find certain people are using, for example, Degas, they were using pastel colors. You know, certain kind of very pastel in terms of the brightness. You know, pastel we call it as a desaturated color in technical language. But everybody formed their own style of using a color palette. So there is no fixed pattern as such. You know, one of the painting of Van Gogh is using the very predominantly yellow, very predominantly yellow, and its shade. In the entire frame, you will see it is yellow, yellow, and yellow. That's it. But various shades of yellow. So you will say, where are the other colors? So not necessarily there has to be other colors. So you really have to look into a particular work of a particular person. Only then you can talk. There is no fixed adamant, test, what do we call
time tested approach. ऐसा नहीं है. There's a quality of improvisation. You know, there's as if you're improvising. There's a quality of kind of freewheeling approach, especially in the Impressionist, where they don't emphasize structure so much, where the form is much more open. There's an element of casualness in the paintings.
So it depends upon the person to person, and then only you could talk about a work of a person, not in journal, you know. But if you look at one particular person and particular painting or particular style, then you would be able to say, okay, these are the way he is working at. But there is no commandments that you have to follow this, and then you would be called as so and so. So that's it. I think we are done for today. And those who would be sending tomorrow's assignment, do send it. Those who don't want to send it, don't send it. There's no problem. We always have some sincere people around. So good luck. So just mark your attendance if you people are there, and you can sign off, Ranjan.
Yeah, how do I sign? Just sign me out. I'll leave. Yeah.
Okay, so you can mark your attendance here in this launch poll. That's it. So fine, we'll sending it off now, and that's it.